Hey guys, welcome back to another new video on my channel. Today we are talking about this book by Nick Trenton, Stop Overthinking. I want to mention that I'll give away this book and a couple others too for free, of course, to my audience once the channel hits 1000 subscribers here on YouTube. To get this book for free, you just need to like this video, leave a comment below, subscribe of course, and follow on my Instagram and DM me the word success. I'll pick you from the DMs on Insta. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I picked up this book without checking the reviews or knowing anything about the author. It was purely because I liked the cover design, the red background, the beautiful artwork, which is also quite unique, the way it is designed of a human head with letters. It instantly caught my eye. You know that old saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Yeah, that's a good advice, but let's be real. We always judge by appearances, don't we? Whether it's people or books. So yes, a book is judged by its cover sometimes, or rather all the time. Now, talking about the book, it's an easy read, not too technical, not too heavy. You can easily finish it in 1 or 2 days. And as the cover says, it has 23 techniques to relieve stress, stop negative spirals, declutter your mind, and focus on the present. The good thing is, these techniques, which I mentioned on this book, aren't just random. They are backed by research, pulled from actual studies by psychologists and mental health professionals. Now, instead of going through all 23, I'll share 3 of my favorite techniques, the ones that are practical, yet simple, and can genuinely help with daily stress and anxiety. And before we jump in, a quick disclaimer. Watching a book review on YouTube is not the same as reading the book. If you really want to know more, then I really encourage you to buy the book and read it for yourself. Alright, said that, let's get into the video. So, what is overthinking? Well, to be honest, we all already know what it is because we all do it. Most of the time, we don't even realize we are overthinking. It just happens subconsciously. And then suddenly we are spiraling down. Right? Our mind starts running in circles, not just thinking about a situation, but thinking about the thoughts we are having about the situation. And then we go even further, thinking about those thoughts too. It becomes a mental loop and we get stuck in it. Here's a simple example. Let's say you like someone, you want to propose to a girl, right? Now, ideally, you should be thinking, okay, how should I do it? What's the best way to tell her how I feel? But that's not what happens. Instead, your brain goes, does she even like me? What if she rejects me? What if she stops talking to me after this? Should I pick her up in my car instead of my bike to look more impressive? Should I maybe dress better? Maybe I should text her first. No, what if she misunderstands it? Let me delete that message. Okay, maybe I should just say nothing and wait for her to text first. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, we have all done this, haven't we? At least once in our lives. And this is one of the most overly simplified version of exactly what overthinking looks like. You're no longer solving the problem. You're just swimming in fear, doubt, and imaginary scenarios. You're thinking about thinking instead of focusing on the reality. It feels endless and eventually it leaves you drained, anxious, or even numb. This is not healthy thinking anymore. It's mental overload. And that's what overthinking is. When you excessively analyze, evaluate, or worry about something to the point where it starts harming your peace of mind and your ability to act. And the worst part, you often can't stop, even if you want to. It's like your brain is on autoplay, and instead of moving forward, you keep circling the same track again and again. But here's the good news. That pattern can be broken. And that's exactly what this book, Stop Overthinking by Nick Trenton, helps you do. With practical tools to quiet that mental noise and bring yourself back to the present moment. Before we get into the techniques, I just want to share a quote that really stayed with me. It's by one of the greatest Russian authors of all time, Fyodor Dostoevsky. In his book, Notes from the Underground, he wrote, I swear to you that to think too much is a disease, a real, actual disease. And honestly, I can't agree more. There is another quote of his, this one from the book Crime and Punishment, where he says, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. The real great men must, I think, have great sadness on earth. Again, I couldn't agree more. And even Stop Overthinking by Nick Trenton touches on this idea that people who overthink are often tend to be more intelligent, more sensitive, and more self-aware. And that got me thinking, is being intelligent a blessing or a curse? Well, I have spent a lot of time overthinking that very question, ironically, but eventually I realized something very important. You can't live in the extremes. What we really need is balance. And most importantly, we need to be aware of what kind of thoughts we are allowing to stay in our mind. Think about it this way. Just like overeating leads to obesity, and that leads to high blood pressure, hypertension, cholesterol, diabetes, and so on, right? Overthinking has its own ripple effects, but it starts in the mind but ends in the body. You might believe that, oh no, it's all in my head. It's not. Believe me, it becomes chemical. So when you overthink constantly, your body starts releasing a hormone called cortisol, the primary stress hormone. You may have heard about it. Cortisol isn't bad by itself. It helps us deal with the danger in the event of stress. But when it stays elevated for too long, it starts damaging you. Long-term high cortisol can cause several of health issues like hair fall, weight gain, high blood sugar, depression, high blood pressure, muscle weakness, sleep disturbances, digestion issues, difficulty in concentration, mood swings, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. In other words, you can literally shorten your life without getting into an accident, without anyone hurting you, just by overthinking too much, too often. So yeah, overthinking is not just a mental pattern, it's a biological stressor that affects your entire nervous system. And that's why it's so important to recognize it early and learn how to manage it before it becomes chronic. One of the most practical techniques mentioned in this book is something called the 4 A's of stress management. Avoid, alter, accept, adapt. Let's break each of them down. Number 1, avoid. Eliminate unnecessary stress. Now, this doesn't mean running away from all your problems, but it does mean asking a simple question. Can I just not deal with this at all? Maybe just for now. We often say yes to things that add zero value to our lives, and then we overthink about how to get out of them. If something drains your energy and you can live perfectly fine without it, then it's better that you avoid it. Like for an example, that toxic WhatsApp group chat that always leaves you anxious. Mute it or leave it. That one coworker or your friend who only gossips and complains. Limit your interactions with such person. Too many responsibilities piling up, delegate, or even better, learn to say no. You cannot do all the world's work all by yourself, can you? Stressing and overthinking about the exam results. If you have given your 100% effort in it, then you don't need to worry about the outcome. Outcome isn't in your hands, but only the efforts. Even Bhagavad Gita says that, do your duty, but do not think about the results. Why to think of something which isn't in our control? That makes complete sense. Overthinking often starts when we take on more than we can handle. Avoiding certain stressors isn't weakness. It's actually wisdom. Trust me, learning to say no sometimes is also a life skill. Number 2, alter. Change the situation. If you cannot avoid it, maybe you can alter it. This means communicating your needs clearly and making adjustments instead of suffering silently and spiraling mentally. For an example, if someone keeps interrupting you while you work, ask them respectfully to stop as you are trying to work. If your daily routine feels chaotic, try to restructure your calendar. If you are overwhelmed by your schedule, ask for support or rearrange your deadlines. We tend to overthink because we feel powerless. But the moment you speak up or take action, even a small step, the mind actually calms down. Number 3, accept when you cannot change it. So sometimes you just cannot avoid or alter the situation, right? Like traffic, or losing someone, or not getting the job that you really wanted. This is where the 3rd A comes in. Accept. Acceptance doesn't mean you like it. It doesn't mean giving up. It means acknowledging the reality as it is without fighting it in your mind. The truth is, resistance causes more suffering than the situation itself. You can say, yes, this sucks. Yes, it hurts really bad, but I accept that this is what I have to deal with right now, and I'll get through it. This stops the loop of why is this happening to me and shifts you to what can I do about it now. Number 4, adapt. Adjust your mindset. And finally, when you cannot change the situation, change how you see it. It's all about reframing or changing your perception. Instead of saying, I failed, I'm worthless, say that, okay, I failed, I learned something, I'm growing. Instead of saying, why is this always happening to me? Instead, say, okay, maybe this is redirecting me towards something better. Adapting your mindset isn't pretending everything is fine. It's learning to see the same reality through a different lens that empowers you to move forward. Shifting your focus from what's breaking you to what's building you, even if the situation hasn't changed. Alright, so the second technique is the use of a stress diary, or simply intentional journaling. This isn't your typical Dear Diary kind of writing. You're not just venting about your day or describing what you had for lunch. This is about creating a safe, non-judgmental space where you can observe and understand your own mind. Overthinking thrives in chaos. It feeds off scattered, unprocessed emotions and thoughts. But the moment you take those thoughts out of your head and put them on paper, something very powerful happens. You stop being in the thought and start looking at it. You create that space between yourself and the mental noise, and in that space you gain clarity, control, and insight. A stress diary works like a mirror for your brain. You get to reflect on your daily triggers, spot the repeated patterns, and also recognize the things that consistently drain your energy or disturb your peace. Often we don't even realize what's making us feel anxious or irritated. We carry the weight of invisible thoughts, and that builds up with time. Journaling helps us trace that anxiety back to its root. Now, how do you actually do this? You don't need something fancy, just a pen and a paper, or even your phone's notes app will do. What matters is your intention. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes, preferably before going to sleep at night. Then answer simple questions like, what triggered stress in me today? How did I react? And what thoughts came up? Did I overthink the situation? What would I advise someone else if they were in my place? What could I do differently next time? See, it's not about writing the perfect answers. It's about observing yourself without judgment. You're training your mind to become aware of its own habits, and over time, you will start seeing patterns. Maybe certain people or situations always trigger you, or maybe your anxiety always spikes around certain hours of the day while doing certain types of work or certain conversations in particular. What I personally love about this practice is that it forces you to slow down. Overthinking is like mental speeding. Your thoughts are racing ahead uncontrollably. Now, journaling acts like applying brakes to it. It helps you pause, breathe, and respond rather than react. Another underrated benefit, it gives you mind closure. When you have written something down, your brain knows it doesn't have to hold on to it anymore. That loop, that replay cycle starts to quiet down. It's almost like mental housekeeping. You clean things up before they start to get messy. And over time, something amazing begins to happen. You don't just reduce overthinking, you replace it with understanding. You stop fearing your thoughts and start befriending them. And in that awareness, the healing begins. A great follow-up practice is to shift your focus with a gratitude journal. This means writing down just 3 to 5 things you are thankful for every single day. It can be as simple as a good cup of coffee, having friends and family around, or roof over my head. Gratitude rewires your brain to look for what's working instead of what's missing. It gently pulls your attention away from the negative spiral and reminds you that even on the worst days, not everything is bad. So together, stress journaling and gratitude journaling becomes a powerful combo. One helps you understand your pain, the other reminds you of your strength. So if there is one habit you can start today, let it be this. Pick up a notebook and start writing. Not to show anyone, not to be perfect, just to know yourself a little better. Because when you know what's happening inside you, you stop being a victim of your own mind. And now is the time for the third and the final one. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. Sometimes you need a technique that can bring immediate relief to a stressful situation. The idea is very simple. When we overthink and stress, we are not living in the moment. We are wandering in our mind about the past or about the future possibilities. We think what if and run our minds tearing it on the past memories, ideas, probabilities, wishes, and fears. If we can pull our conscious awareness back into the present, we can certainly stop some of the overthinking. And we can do this by checking in with 5 senses. To put it another way, brain can carry you all over the place, from past to the future, but the body and its senses is only ever at one place, the present. Start by noticing the things you can see around you, like a painting, your hands, the lamp in the corner, Really look at them, the textures, colors, shapes. Let your eyes absorb all the details of whatever you can see in front of you. Next, focus on the things you can touch or feel. Maybe it's the chair or sofa that you're sitting on, the texture of your shirt, or the cool surface of a glass. Feel them fully. Be present in the sensation. Then shift your attention to the things you can hear. Perhaps your own breath, the noise of a fan, chirping of birds, or distant traffic noise. Now find the things you can smell. It could be soap on your skin, coffee, the scent of a new book, or a flower. Just try to notice. And finally, bring your focus to one thing you can taste. Even if it's subtle, like the aftertaste of a drink, or just the natural taste in your mouth. Tune into that sensation for a moment. The point of this exercise is on the surface, distraction. This technique helps break the mental loop of overthinking by anchoring you in your senses in the present. Engaging your senses distracts your brain from the overthinking. Even if you forget the order of the steps, it's okay. What matters is redirecting your attention outward, away from the noise in your head and into the stillness of now. And if you want to deepen this experience, try doing it outdoors. Barefoot. A study by researcher Gaitan Chevalier, hope I'm pronouncing the name right, he found that placing your bare feet in contact with the earth for just 1 hour significantly improved mood and well-being. It's called grounding or earthing, and it's a beautiful natural way to reconnect both physically and mentally. So next time your mind won't stop racing, step outside, take a deep breath and try this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your senses bring you back home to the present moment. You see, overthinking doesn't just waste your time. It quietly steals your life in moments you don't even notice. You're here, but not really present. Alive, but somewhere else in your head. That's the real cost. Missing out on the now because your mind won't let go of the what if. But the good news is, awareness changes everything. Train your mind to work with you or it will quietly ruin your life without asking you. We think to prepare, we think to take any action, we think before doing anything, right? But somewhere along the way, we forget how to switch it off. This book gently reminds us you don't have to solve everything right now, and some of the things that we keep ruminating about is not even in our control. Sometimes you just need to return to the present instead of wandering in the past and the future. Pause. Breathe. I've shared just 3 techniques from this book, Stop Overthinking, but trust me, there's so much more in these pages here. It's not about becoming perfectly calm. It's about catching yourself in the chaos and choosing not to panic, not to get stressed out. That choice, that moment of awareness is where freedom begins. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like this video, drop a comment and subscribe for more such videos. And maybe share this with your friends and family. You never know who needs it. And don't forget, if you want a chance to win this book, go to my Instagram, follow me there and DM the word success. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, I'll be sending out free copies. Peace isn't the absence of thoughts. It's the ability to choose which ones you listen to. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.